You were the most loyal person in Tokyo, and that loyalty destroyed you. This is the story of a man who gave a 148-year-old Japanese company 4 years, 280 hours a month, and everything he had. And the day he found out what the company did to him, he realized he was already doing the same thing to someone else. Researched this story, I studied Japanese corporate law, real documented Karoshi cases, and actual court records on Madogiwazoku. Who was the man who taught him everything, and why did he do it? Year 1, the offer arrives by email, analyst position, corporate strategy division, Mitsui Shoji. 4 points, right, million yen annually. That number is a frame, not the picture. The picture is Mitsui Shoji, one of Japan's oldest sogo shosha, a general trading company, a term that doesn't translate because nothing else like it exists. Founded since 1876, survived the Kanto earthquake, world wars, nuclear moment, a decade-long financial collapse, 148 years old, still running. You don't take the job for the salary, you take it for what the salary is attached to. The shokunin ethic, the craftsman perfecting one technique for 40 years because the gap between where you are and where the work could be is something you feel personally. Kaizen, continuous improvement as direction, not slogan. You are 29, one-way ticket to Narita. You are not ready. Apartment in Hadagaya, Keio Line southwest of Shinjuku. 1 room, 6 tatami mats. Bathroom split into 3 plastic compartments. Toilet, sink, bathtub, the width of a generous thought. Rent 82,000 yen a month. Office is 32 floors of glass near Shinjuku Sanchome. Corporate strategy, 21st floor. 12 desks, 1 window facing north. The rules are not written anywhere. Triting? No handbook saying don't leave before your section chief. No policy about the 20 vacation days that are theoretical. You are permitted to have them. You are not expected to use them. These things exist in the room the way gravity does. Nobody explains. Nobody has to learn by watching Tanaka-san. Here too, the mentor. He is 51. Joined Mitsui in 1995, the beginning of Japan's lost decade. The deflationary collapse that hollowed out generations, that tomorrow would be better. He survived it. Outlasted colleagues who left for startups that failed. Colleagues reassigned to departments quietly dissolved. 9 years in corporate strategy. His desk faces the door. He is always the first to know when someone new arrives. He picks you as his kohai 3 weeks in. No ceremony. One morning, he places a printed market analysis on your desk, taps it twice with 2 fingers, and says, "Read this. Come find me when you have questions." He answers every question, not quickly, correctly. How a sogo shosha doesn't move commodities, it moves relationship. How a contract is a ledger of trust built through years of small, reliable actions. How the most valuable thing in any negotiation is the willingness to be wrong in front of someone and return the next morning without carrying it on your face. Lunch twice a week, same order every time. Grilled saba mackerel teishoku from the basement. You have clocked it without meaning to. The way you track things about people you have decided matter. Okay. By month 4, you order the same set, not because you love mackerel, because proximity is its own form of apprenticeship. Cow, he teaches you kuki wo yomu, reading the air in a room before you speak, understanding what is being communicated in the silence between the words, and how to wait. Waiting, he says one evening while the floor empties around you, is not passive. Waiting is the most strategic action available to someone whose timing is wrong. You are 30 years old, being taught how to wait by a man who has spent 28 years doing exactly that. Think this is wisdom. You will later understand it as something more complicated. Arrive at 7:45, leave when Tanaka-san leaves, 9 to 10:50 p.m. Keio Line home, 6 stops, fall asleep most nights, wake because your body has learned the rhythm, 3 stops to go, eyes open before the announcement. Okay. First month, 280 hours total. Japanese labor law designates 80 hours monthly overtime as the threshold above which Karoshi, death from overwork, becomes statistically significant. You know this number. You think it applies to other people. Second year, Osaka calls. Transfer 6.2 million yen. You tell Fujiwara-san the team needs continuity. That evening, Tanaka-san says one word, good. You carry it for weeks like a stone that might be a key. Third year, secondary project led, cross-border restructuring, 4 points, right billion yen. Formal commendation. Tanaka-san gives you a small nod in the hallway. By now you understand that no, that nod is a standing ovation. You are not surviving Tokyo anymore. You are belonging to it. And belonging in a city this size feels worth protecting. Mitsui announces a structural review. Large Japanese corporations do this the way bodies shed cells, constantly, quietly, without ceremony. You have seen 2 rounds. They have never touched your floor. You find out from the seating chart. K. Tandaka Shi, Corporate Strategy Division, Senior Analyst, name moved to the window seats, Madogiwazoku, Window Tribe. Employees assigned to face the outward windows and given tasks that connect to nothing. Work that won't be reviewed, existing only to give someone a reason to keep coming in. A corporate practice so specifically cruel it developed its own vocabulary. A way of removing someone without the legal exposure of firing them. You sit there long enough and the message arrives without words. You are no longer needed. But we will not say so out loud, because saying so out loud would be impolite. That afternoon, Fujiwara-san calls you in. You are taking Tanaka-san's responsibilities, in addition to your own. Increment of 2 lakes 80,000 yen succession of duties. Tanaka-san speaks very highly of you. Can you walk back to your desk? Tanaka-san is at the window, reading, doesn't look up. You sit in the chair that is now effectively his, and your brain runs the calculation it has been avoiding. 28 years, he gave them his 30s, his 40s, the beginning of his 50s. Held loyalty until it became structural. 28 years. They gave him a window because they couldn't legally give him nothing, and then they gave you Tanaka-san. His 9 years at that desk, teaching you how the company thinks, how relationships move, how to read a room. None of it was for you. It was for them. The company needed institutional knowledge transferred before the carrier was removed. The most efficient delivery mechanism was his mentorship. You were the project, you were always the project. Every Wednesday lunch, every corrected report, every evening he taught you to read the atmosphere, not education, transfer. He didn't train you. He transferred himself, and the part that makes anger impossible, he may not have known. Or maybe he did. Maybe he understood, the way anyone giving 28 years to a machine eventually understands what it is. And he mentored you anyway, because what else do you do with what you know? Who gets it, if not the person sitting beside you young enough to need it? Yeah, there is no villain in this story. That is the part that makes it impossible to put down. 14 months at his desk, his accounts and yours. No vacation days, their absence is load-bearing now. He retires. Small ceremony, 21st floor, cake, 1 envelope. Division head uses the word loyalty 4 times. Tanaka-san bows at the appropriate angles. He is, to the end, exactly what they built him to be. You are the only one who follows him to the elevator. He presses lobby, the doors begin to close. He looks at you and says in the same even tone from 4 years of lunches and silences and corrections, "Don't wait as long as I did." Can doors close? You stand in the hallway a long moment, then you walk back to the desk. A month later a new analyst arrives, 24, suit slightly too new, 3rd day. You place a printed market analysis on his desk, tap it twice with 2 fingers, tell him, "Read this. Come find me when you have questions." He looks at you exactly the way you once looked at Tanaka-san. Max, the question you are not asking yourself, the one the company doesn't need you to ask, is whether what you're about to give him is a gift or a transfer. Whether what you build together is for him or for the machine. You don't ask the question. You go back to your desk. The building keeps running. Thousands of people being useful in ways they can't yet distinguish from being consumed. The system doesn't flinch when someone figures it out. It needs you to keep showing up. In a tower in Shinjuku, the seating chart updates. A name moves to a window. Another fills the gap. The new analyst reads his report. On the KO line, a man who gave 28 years carries a small envelope home to Kawasaki. Tokyo keeps spinning, completely unbothered. Because in a city built on institutional loyalty, one more person learning what that loyalty costs isn't a tragedy. It's succession of duties. The story you just heard is fiction. But if you've ever given something real to a system that wasn't built to give it back, the most expensive lesson isn't the one that costs you money. It's the one that costs you time and only tells you the price after you've already paid it. And drop a comment and tell me which part hit different. I've got more stories like this coming. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.